Hey guys, how you going? All fellas travels. So the weather's a bit dismal today, and I've been hoping to do a review. So it's undercover, but I just want to do a short review on something that I use all the time. Today I'll be reviewing, do a bit of review and give you a bit of a rundown on the three JetBoils. One being the first one. This particular JetBoil here is it's a very commonly used one. It's probably the most common one. There's one just a tad smaller, and I think this is 1.2 litre or something. I can't remember exactly. This is perfect for boiling, you know, enough water really quickly, and for a couple of, you know, mugs of coffee. So I use it a lot, used all the time. You can see she's pretty dirty or worked or used, so to speak. And it's kind of unique on the side. It has these bars on the side that actually illuminate to a bright orange when the water's supposedly boiling or hot enough to use. So that one's very good. We'll have another look in more depth shortly. And I suppose the next size down is this one. But this one is great for, I use this one a lot for generally just a quick lunch break. I'll just boil some noodles and then throw, you know, maybe a few veggies or, you know, a bit of tuna or something in with them, and it's great. You can boil it up and have a feed going lickety slick, and really useful. And then you've got this, the big daddy here. Then you've got the big fella here, and you know, the big pot. And once again, this is really useful, and you can build a and you can cook a really good feed up in these. Now, the real benefit between the two larger ones is this fella here is regulated, and I'll show what I mean by regulated in a minute. And this and the smaller one, they're not regulated, so it's full on. I mean, you can wind it back a bit, but it doesn't have the ability to come right down and control it various, you know, levels of simmer, as opposed to these two other guys. So I'll quickly set them up, and then we'll talk about. So here they are set up. Excuse the background, guys, because the weather's inclement to say the least, and I haven't been able to get here. So the gear behind is I'm doing a rebuild that you'll see fairly soon on the cruiser, rewiring and new set of shelving in the back and that. So basically that bench here is bits and pieces just laying around from the cruiser build. But this is the most common JetBoil, this fella here. Really useful, very easy to light. I mean, it's just a matter of really turning the gas on and just hitting the striker. Bit hard to do one-handed. And you see then she's, you know, she's up and running. But like I was saying before, the difference really is that you can see she's roaring a bit, and you can wind her down, but see, she's gone out, so it hasn't got that real fine adjustment that the others have. This one's a little bit different because it doesn't have the standard style top on it. With this one, this just basically has a stand for the pot, and you'll see that the pot will sit on there like that when it's on a gas bottle, obviously, and it just works a treat. I use this one a lot. You know, you can throw, you know, some rice or some noodles in there, and you keep an eye on it, cook it up. Compact, easy, quick. And this one and this one here, they both have a regulator, and I'll show you what that means in having a regulator soon. But it gives you the ability to boil something really quickly, and then you can really fine tune it down, because rice or noodles might just need to simmer, or even cooking yourself up a little bit of tin stew or whatever. You need to be able to wind it down so it's a nice gentle simmer and you're not burning anything and ending up with a mess, you know, stuck to the bottom. We'll strike this one up, and then we'll go and have a look at boiling something, see how quick they come up. Now, like I said before, you'll see that the larger ones come with this regulator, and what that really means is you can regulate the flow of gas fairly precisely and control the level of simmer. Whereas with the bigger one, they tend to be, you know, go hard and we'll go home basically. Great for boiling water. This one I use every morning, or if I want a cup of coffee out bush, boil it up really quick, takes up no room. Boil your water up lickety slick, get it in your cup, and you've got a brew going before you know it. But this fella here, now I'll strike this up again with a similar level of difficulty, being one hand, but I'll turn it full on, and it does have a good roar. But you can see that it's burning pretty hard there, and you can probably hear it. But if you watch this, I can wind it right down, and with the regulator it allows you to get a really low burn there. So that's still burning very, very low, very soft flame. And you can see that, a very soft flame. But enough to keep, you know, with the efficiency of the bottom of the pots, it's enough to just keep something simmering nicely without burning it. So you can have a nice simmer there, get your noodles nice and soft, and look, it's still burning now, and I've regulated quite down. Now, you know, there's still heat coming off of that, and with the pot on, it'd be quite effective. But you can see, it's not roaring away, so you can regulate this right down, and it's all due on this one and the larger one to this regulator here that they have. And you'll notice that this one here, they don't have the regulator. They just, you know, just go hard, you know, full send, whereas these you have a bit more control over it. So we'll pause just for a tick. I'll get a bit of water, and we can actually have a look at how quick these guys boil up. All right, I've got a bit of water in there, and we're back, and we'll give them a bit of a boil up. But let me give you a word of warning, or a bit of advice, maybe wisdom. That's a first for the old fella. But you need to be aware that you're using these. You need to understand that the purpose is to boil something fairly quickly. And I learnt that lesson with my first one about 2 years ago, when I think I'd only had it maybe a week, and I put a batch of water on to boil, and I just went over to wash my hands or something. A fella was walking by, seen the dot, and we trail in my camp, and we started having a bit of a chat, and I thought, geez, somebody's burning a bit of rubber or plastic or something. And then it clicked that I was actually boiling some water, but it was possibly only 10 minutes. It boiled probably 600 ml of water in the container, completely dry, and the container got hot, the plastic melted off the side, or the insulation melted off the side, and the actual stand itself had got so hot that it started to mount around the edges. And I think I was probably within a minute of a catastrophic explosion on the dot. And just be mindful. I can laugh at it now, but it could have been quite serious. So if you're going to use these, get them going and pay attention to them. They demand your attention, because if you don't give them the level of attention they deserve, things will go very pear-shaped and ruin a good holiday. But we'll get them boiling now, and you'll see how they go. So we'll get this one on first. So I've got the recommended amount of water in there, which is, you know, it's probably around about half full. I tend to fill up a little bit more, not a great deal more, but maybe an inch higher than that. It's against the level recommendation, but I find that that's just I have a fairly big coffee cup, and you know, I find that I just need that a little bit more to give me a good full Yeti, I should say, Yeti coffee cup full. So fairly easy to put on for anybody who hasn't used them, anybody that's used them. You know, they have these little notches there. You're meant to sit in and twist them. I tend to just sit mine in. I'll just put the camera down 2 secs. Just have a listen, you'll hear this crank up. So you can see she's a light. And basically, like I said before, you know, it's either go hard or go home with these suckers, and it's ideal because this is what they're designed for. This model here is designed for specifically boiling water, or getting something hot very quickly, you know, getting your water very hot very quickly, and, you know, getting your coffee and that going. If you're like me in the morning, I don't like being around waiting for a coffee, and I like to get my coffee into me pretty quick. You know, if I haven't got my laughing gear around drinking coffee pretty early in the morning, you won't want to be trying to get too much conversation out of me. It probably goes for most of us to go bush. You know, we need that kickstart in the morning. But you can see already, I've only just lit it and only just started talking about it. And look, you can see already that water's starting to mist. And if we have a look down the bottom, you can see already there's bubbles on the bottom. So that's going to boil very quickly. You can see already it's starting to bubble on the bottom. You can see a bit of mist coming off. So it is starting to form a little bit of, you know, very low temperature steam. And before you know it, that'll be boiling. So we'll just have another look. You can see she's starting to bubble away really well. Within another 30-40 seconds, that's going to be boiling. So you can see how quick that works. And there's enough water in there for 2 mugs of coffee. So that's pretty quick, eh? You know, it's probably about a 2-sip stubby trip to get that one boiling. Maybe about 3.4 seconds on the quarter mile. The one I like, you know, what I specifically like about this fella is, and the light's getting terrible at the moment, guys. It's so overcast, and I do have the lights on here, but they're not helping a great deal. But this also has the handles on the side, and they just fold out like this. But these handles are really useful because this particular, you know, heat shield, I suppose you'd call it, whatever this material is, it feels like a wetsuit material, but I think it's a little bit more than that, because it does give it that insulation on the outside. Probably helps with the boiling, but also helps the outside stay cool. But it's not great to, you know, hang on to. And I found a couple of times, you know, I've been having a bit of a feed and I'm hanging on to it like that, and you know, you go to pull out a bit of food and it comes out of your hands. And I've lost a couple of meals like that before I, you know, decided to start using these handles, and the handles made real sense after that. So it's the same deal. Got these little notches that goes on. Put it on, give it a twist, you know, locks it in. Works a treat. And we'll spin the sucker around. I'll do the old one-handed start if I can. But just keep in mind, remember that I spoke about the regulator on this one, so we'll crank it up. Now you need to get it to pretty much to close to full, you know, full blast to light it up. But you see it takes a few more winds to get open, and you can hear the gas running out of that now. And away she goes. You can see, look, she's burning hard. There's a little bit of moisture on the bottom of this because I actually used it for lunch today, and I've given it a wash off, so you can see that little bit of steam you might have seen come off the side. Bit of evaporation was just a bit of the moisture coming out. But you can see already we're starting to get a little bit of mist, a little bit of moisture, evaporation, and look already inside. But personally, in my experience, and I haven't, you know, put a clock to this and actually tested it, but it seems to me that the 2 larger ones, the ones that are meant more for cooking, that have the valve that allows you, the regulator that allows you to regulate the amount of gas flow that comes through, and obviously the temperature, they seem to boil a little bit quicker. So you can see this is coming to the boil really quick, but I'll open it right up, and we will bring this one to the boil, and I'll show you the, you know, the whole simmering capability these have. You see, you know, that's starting to get really hot really quickly. I mean, just in the minute I mean, you know, I've been talking about this, look. So she's starting to go hard. So they have, you know, they come with a lid. I tend not to use the lid, but they actually become, you know, a little bit more effective if you use the lid. So you whack the lid on, and the lids are more, you know, temperature. They're all temperature friendly. It's a little bit vented there. You've got a little lip there, and this is with the this fella as well. In the lid you can see, oh, that steam's hot. But they'll boil a little bit quicker. They'll come to temperature a little bit quicker, and you can actually use that as a pouring vent. You can see how quick did that boil, guys. Look at that, she's going hard. But the real benefit of this is, you'll see I start winding it down, and we'll get to a point. If I left that going like that, the water would get so hot it'd just be, you know, spewing over the sides. But you can see I'm getting to the point now where we're starting to get on the regulator. You see I'm winding that down. Keep winding it down. So you can see I've just got a nice steady boil going there, you know, which is ideal. If you're, you know, cooking up a bit of noodles, or you're heating something up, you can heat food in these, but I tend not to. But I have done. You know, wind it down. So this is a real benefit. You've got the capability to regulate these guys right down. So there's no reason why you couldn't buy one of these for multi-purpose. I like to have the 2. In fact, I've got the 3. But you could use this for boiling water for your coffee as well. There's no reason why you couldn't do that, and then use it to cook something up. Whoa, fogging up the camera. But you can see now, just winding that right down, and it's on a real... This is how much you can regulate it down, guys. So if we can get away from the steam, you can see that's just a real gentle little bubble going on there. Look, just a beautiful little simmer. You know, not super hot, but you can see she's still simmering in the bottom. So that's the benefit of the regulator. We can even regulate it in a little bit more. Now, you can't achieve that effectively with the one, you know, the JetBoil that's specifically designed just for boiling water. You don't have that regulator capability. You can toy around with it, but nowhere near as effective. You can see how low that is. Look, the slightest little simmer going there. We can even wind it down more. So still actually going, still keeping that hot, but and then we can turn it off completely. So that's the benefit of the built-in regulator on these. Same with this sucker. This is designed for this pot. This is the burner style of burner you get when you buy this pot. This pot's quite nice. It's got a handle that locks in place, and I have used this, guys, by the way, but that just happens to keep coming back for some reason. And so this is really good. It's got a really nice surface, very easy to clean. Stuff doesn't seem to stick to it. It's got this really great lid that you can sit on it with a little click down handle. Just flick that up, off it comes. Away you go. To fold it away, you just simply squeeze the handle in, and it just folds over, and then that becomes, you know, your lock to hold the lid down. And gear goes back inside. Basically that's all you need. Everything's inside. Same with this. This packs away. This goes inside with the bag. Same with this. This comes off. This goes away. They have a base to protect the vent system on the bottom. That's about it, guys. So I've been using JetBoils for, I would be thinking probably 4 years now. I did buy this gear myself. It wasn't given to me, and the second one, the second JetBoil here, I've probably had this 3 years, or maybe 2 years. I can't remember now, but I know it's been a while, and I know I had it well before I bought the Cruiser, and I've had the Cruiser 2.5 years. Remembering the first one, I managed to, you know, nearly set the caravan park on fire. So I'm a real fan of the JetBoils. I'm not saying it's the only option, and I'm not saying that I'm 100% correct either. You could probably call me a little bit biased, because I ain't a real fan of them. Consequently, I've got the 3. Anyway, I've battered my gums for long enough. I'll probably have to edit half of this out. I'd appreciate being the first of the reviews, and I'm going to start doing it. It'd be great, guys, if you give me some comments on whether you know, they think they're good value, or you liked it, or they were too long or too short, not enough detail, too much detail, etc., etc. If you like it, give me a thumbs up. That helps. And if you're not subscribed and you watch my videos, subscribe to me, guys, and click that bell for all the notifications. The more subscriptions I'll get, the more help I'll get. And once I get to 1,000 subscriptions, I'll get a logo done, and we might start having some old fellas travels, stubby coolers and such. But we'll see how we go. Yes, thank you. So we'll see how we go from there. Thanks, guys. I hope you enjoy the mini review. Or maybe it's not so mini, but I hope you enjoyed it anyway. See you, guys.
The end of the world has been on my mind. How do we get